How we doing, folks? Good morning. welcome to another week. Jordy Shorty, thanks for another sub. Appreciate the 14 months. Welcome back. Foxor, thanks for coming in hot for over 4.5 years. Sorry, over 3.5 years. Math. I saw 2 4s in your thing and my brain mushed. Happy Monday, folks. Anything remotely interesting in the blunder picks? I really feel like as we get more sets added to this game, they really need to add, I don't think they'll ever give us like full targeting in here, but they really need to add like some type of pseudo targeting. Like they have a mechanic for let you favorite particular cards just so they like visually highlight more. They should really like make an effort to show you your favorited cards more frequently. And like obviously I'm a pretty exception to the rule. Like I have all the cards, I'm just looking for like 2 stars mostly, but like my wife buys the pass, has bought the pass every month, and like even her account that's missing most stuff, like it's still frequently capped on Wonder Pick stuff because there's just like nothing useful in it for her that she's missing. Let me turn off particular packs. Yeah, that would even that would be great if you could just like have a checklist and then your Wonder Picks only show up from particular packs. Like that. That would be really good. But they don't want you to pseudo focus particular cards. All right, I loaded a few things up last night. So let's hop on in here, huh? Morning, Ben. What's going on, Spud Babe? Are we starting with Garchomp? I'm gonna start with Stout Chop. Doggo. I've got a couple of Stoutland decks loaded up. I've got Stoutland Garchomp and then Stoutland Tapu Lele. That's some fun synergy. We have first energy advantage here, which is sweet. We'll see if we can find a piece of candy to get the big dog up. Hey, Ben. Thanks for hanging out for almost 2 years and all the incredible support you've given here over that time. Good morning. All right, we've got a baby dragon. No candy yet, but I've got a angsty teenage dragon and a papa dragon here as well. Yep. There's the green duck. And if we hit the candy, we're in an incredible spot. If we brick on it, we're in trouble here. I think I'm retreating here. It's like force them to have it burn their Cyrus. We hit our water energy for after the fighting here, which means Chomperson gets to get moving. We're definitely holding Cynthia. I think I'm shearing a Stout. I think I'm like looking for a cape and for another. I think ideally I want to set up like another Garchomp. I need to Lily here because otherwise Lucamine lets them big beat me with the Buzzwole. So we need to go up to 140 here. Acid, thank you for the 5 months. I really appreciate the continued support. Welcome back. Ben, thank you for the almost 5 years. Appreciate it. Yep, there's Lucamine we played around with our Lily. So I'm going to shear this other pup, I think. Because we got rid of the second Stout. Alright, there's a Herdier. And then this cape's not terrible because it means that they have to have a 1 retreat cost Pokemon to not get cleaned out next turn. And this puts them to 20, which is a notable amount of HP because it means that Stoutland 70 clears this through an Erica. Kartana means we're cooked. Needed to dodge a second copy of that. Something I called out in the meta report this week is that the builds of Buzzwole playing 2 of this card markedly better performance than the ones that weren't. Let's draw a Gibble. Cyrus. Ooh, Cyrus does it, yeah. But I thought I wanted a Gibble, but my deck could do better. And this is that breakpoint we were talking about where we get to clear up through the Erica. Clean game for us. Good timely Cyrus top deck here. Good night. Turns out Grass Duck's a good card. It is. Boofin, thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. I've been enjoying Stoutland Gallade. Glad you're having fun with it. Yeah, this dog in general has been really, really sweet. Well, he seems to have been one of my favorite cards this expansion for sure. Alright, we have a Candy, we have a Herdier, got a Dragon, so hopefully this this Pokeball could find us a baby dragon to candy into. Buzzwole was certainly #1 with a bullet in this past weekend's tournaments, so not surprising to see a lot of that to start our day. El Jefe Grande, thank you for the 4.5 years. It's quite the tenure. Welcome back. Got me. The red card before your opponent has played any copies of Research is always a little scuffed, chat. Always a little scuffed. I would like to dedicate this rare candy Stoutland to my opponent's red card. Now they have no energy, and I'm cracking for 70 a turn. Good luck, Godspeed, gamer. Yeah. Thanks for the red card, nerd. Yeah, they turned our decent hand into a perfect one. Is a great way to put that one. Morning, Kevin. Was the other most popular deck from this weekend, Solgaleo stuff. Them having first energy advantage is quite scary. I'm probably supposed to play Cape Out just because of red card and Mars. I really wish Big Dog was up front here. Can I have a piece of candy, please? Nope, never. Rats. Alright, I think the plan is here, we let the lead Gibble just take one for the team, and then we'll top deck Zakandi next turn, yes? Ooh, they don't have it. That's good for us. Imagine not having it. Couldn't be my opponent. Get this loaded up and good to go. So we've got 2 candies and a stage 1 and 7 cards here. If we find a candy, Cynthia clears this. Two candies, 2 stage 1s, bottom 6 cards. Oh my goodness, they also don't have their stage 1 or stage 2. What a limp noodle of a fight. Holy. This is so dumb. Actually one of the dumbest games of Pocket I've played in a long time. At least it's a fair one. I think this favors them, question mark. If I can kill this before it evolves, we'll be ahead. Okay, cool. I think that means we win. Because this is minus 50 from attacks, right? So I get to do this, and I get to swap this. Does Lily do anything? I don't think Lily does anything, right? I'm gonna share Lily to find my way to the Stoutland, I think. Pseudo Pally, thank you for the almost 5 years. Appreciate you coming back. Welcome. Oh, you know what? The break point here that's unfortunate is this does mean that my opponent can hit us with Shinnok and put us to 120, and then this can finish. Yeah. There's a reason to keep the heal, maybe. Hey, Void Striker, thanks for the third of a year. Welcome back. I think we're gonna be good. I'm gonna be able to get both my Stoutlands online, right? Which with the Cyrus should mean we run this down. There's any reason to shear. Yeah, we're gonna get punished for bidding the Lily. Okay, so they're guaranteed to have Candy plus thing now. This is only their first point, though, and everything I play is worth 1. How many Lilies do these Solgaleo decks typically play? Is it 1 or 2? I think it's 1. They have a lot of cards they're trying to fit. Do these decks usually play Sabrina? If I candy into the Chomp, I can't... If I candy into the Chomp, I can't evolve this Stoutland is the problem. So I think I have to wait... I think I have to wait to draw this. This last card is a Gabite. There's the Lily we knew was coming. I think they're dead. I think they limped along just long enough that we come out on top here. Because even if they have another Lily here, the Chomp takes them 2 hits to get through. This is only their second point. What a weird game. Just taking their second point of the Methodor. Have you tried Baby Garchomp with Stakataka? I've not. It could definitely be something to try at some point. I think with that one you'd probably would even play an EX Chomp as a card too. Just like max assemble at ASAP. The only problem with that one is while it obviously mitigates your stage 2 variants, like Garchomp also has 2-color energy variants. So I really think the ideal Chomp pairing is likely something like Stoutland here, where your second Pokemon lets you play through only getting one type of an energy for at least a little bit. Alright, we take a pause for the cause, let some adverts roll. I'm gonna hop on my exercise bikes rather than being lazy this morning. We're gonna play some more of this when we return. Appreciate everybody here who's here bright and early. Don't go anywhere. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider tap the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. It helps the content reach some more people. Appreciate the over 50 folks that did that this morning before I even put the poll up. My buddy that I exercise with, he got a new toy for the garage for our deadlifting. It's kinda neat. Significantly better on the shins. Slash back. Like you stand in the middle of the circle and pick it up from the sides instead of grabbing it in front of you. Technology is fun. Trap bar, yes. Hey Jeff, I have a question about stamp. I'm collection level 1300. Trying to keep up with S5 seasonal cards, but Thanos popped up in my shop. Should I snatch him? I think you absolutely should prioritize picking up good older Series 5 cards rather than focusing on every new release. Getting cards that unlock decks you want to play is a great idea. And Thanos is a very unique card that unlocks like 2 different decks by picking it up all on its own. Is a stellar pickup. Yeah, you'll use Thanos way more often than something like Morgan, almost assuredly. Alright. Quick 3-0 start to the morning with Chomperson. See if we can keep it up. Dark energy for the opponent. Let's see if they're Darkrai or Guzzlording. Darkrai sleeves Guzzlord into play. What a juke. I'm gonna chill on the research for now. Wait and see what they do. Grindcore is, it's a good thing they introduced an attack like Grindcore to the game. Because these 2-color decks were running Ramshot over the format, so giving an attack that lets you have counterplay into that seems pretty important. I'm a low spender, mostly looking at season and gold pass. Will I be able to play cool snap decks like the ones you do, or am I stuck with series 1 to 3 cards for the foreseeable future? So, your series 4-5 card acquisition rate in Snap doesn't really meaningfully change once you finish series 3. So, you get series 3 cards faster, but your token flow is still pretty ample while you're working through that. Nigos, thank you for the 32 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. You think the Pocket Premium Pass is worthwhile? I think Pocket's Premium Pass is the singular worst Premium Pass in any free-to-play mobile game I've ever seen. It's really, really mediocre. There's no exclusive actual game pieces. The cosmetic they give you, you can't get a second copy of, so it's going to be mismatched in your collection for forever. I think I'm shearing the Lily. I might still want to evolve this thing. We might end up shearing this too. We'll see. The premium pass at the face value is the most raw booster packs to dollars you can spend in Pocket, but the pretty big asterisk next to that objective fact is that packs in Pocket are worth less the longer the set is released. Is something to think about? As a set gets closer to tradable. When you're starting off, I suppose it's very reasonable because you just need a volume of higher rarity cards to kind of push through, I think. Looking for a big dog. Looking for a big dog. See if they can continue missing a grindcore here or not. Finally got one. Okay, there's the big dog. We'll put this here, and then I think we're giving up. Am I giving up this chomp? I guess they're gonna get to hit it with Tyrannical Hole regardless. See, I'm gonna shear the chomp, digging for another Stoutland, I think. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, literally our last two cards are Lillipup, second Stoutland. So we've been shearing so much. Is it worth it to put Guzzlord in a non-dark deck just to grind core and tank early? Probably not. I mean, I would be, and never say never, but I would be genuinely surprised if there's a deck that hasn't been found from the existing card pool by now. I think is what I would say. Don't know if we're gonna be able to get through what they have going on at this point. Here things came together a little bit too slowly. I'm kind of expecting them to have a bunch of healing too. I'm doing all right this morning, Sama. Good morning, good morning. Yeah, there's some of that healing that we expected. Yep. My master bathroom is still not put back together upstairs. We patched the drywall downstairs, but it was a headache trying to get matching flooring. We thought we had matching, and then it turns out we opened the boxes and it was wrong, and then the stuff we actually needed was no longer being produced, so I had to... My wife tracked some down on Facebook Marketplace. So that was a fun experience. And then... What's the word I'm searching for? Now that we finally got the flooring, the person that was going to do the work had a vacation planned, so we're waiting for them to get back from being out of town here later this month. There's plenty of other bathrooms in my house. We live in the Midwest where houses are large. Oh no, not Mars! Snooky, thank you for the 10 months. Appreciate the pride. Welcome back. Excited for my water energy to get discarded here. I think we're cooked. Even with no support, I lose going 1-1 with this Guzzlord, yeah? Not strictly. So if they grind Corby, I can put the Stoutland up and Shark Fang them and then Dragon Claw finishes, but that loses to any amount of... We're gonna be dead to any healing and Cyrus here. And Sabrina. It looks like they're probably 18 trainers, so there's probably most of those cards I just listed that beat us currently hanging out in their hand. Obviously we'll make them show it to us, but I think that went about how I expected it to. We needed a more aggressive start than we had to have a shot against a deck like that. We just kind of flubbed around a little bit to start. The Snap Best Deck Roundup was a banger this week. Yeah, there's so many good things I got in Snap's metagame. Easily some of the best their format's been in a long time. Opponent. Skarmory. Name I haven't heard in a minute. Yep. A lot of recoil damages on the other side of the board. I don't know that this is a winning play, but none of our sequences seem very good or interesting here. Okay, well, we have all the things. Don't know that we're gonna have enough setup time here, though. They had first energy advantage, and I had to spend my first energy making sure my Lillipup didn't die, so we're pretty far behind at this point. Go ahead and slide along here. No, I'm not familiar with any online learning resources. This is not a space I'm a part of. What deck do you recommend for ranked? I'd recommend playing the deck that you enjoy playing games with. If you're looking for decks that are the best performing, I'd recommend checking out the meta report from yesterday. Or this morning. So, some decks over the weekend. I do a data-driven breakdown of the things that are best performing in Pocket's biggest tournaments. Sun Gotti, thanks for serving your Prime sub. Perform here in Oaklandia for the last 13 months. Welcome back. Okie doke. What card do you think was the biggest mistake Dina has added to the game? Rare Candy is not a card that's good for Pokemon Pocket. The game is significantly worse with it in the game. Been struggling to find a deck with play patterns I really enjoy this season. The Rare Candy gameplay is pretty unsatisfying. He says while sitting here playing a double Rare Candy deck. But it's not even just playing it yourself. The playing into it is pretty popular. Hey, K Jill, thank you for the brand new primer. Good morning, good morning. Well, them bricking on that's good for us at least, I suppose. See, I actually think the Ultra Beasts are much better and more interesting for the game than all the rare candy stuff. Like, a lot of people just, like, generically hate playing against anything that's popular, and the Ultra Beasts are definitely popular, but the gameplay there tends to be more dynamic, at least, than rare candy mirrors. So 19 months Wrath. Like here, right? Like, I don't know that I made any wrong decisions this game, but I think we're dead, and there's not really much we can do about it. I've had no choices and died. The only relevant decision I made in this game was the deck that I registered. The in-game decisions were all very scripted and straightforward. I think the thing that's unfortunate about Ultra Beasts is that the good Ultra Beast deck were very clearly built in a lab at Dina. The card designers built them. The players didn't really discover anything about them. Like, the only thing to figure out with the Buzzwole deck, really, is you should be playing 2 Kartana versus should you not be. But it's very clearly railroaded which cards you're supposed to play with Buzzwole. There isn't a deck building puzzle there to solve. If you're ever going to do more tournaments, I might make a point to play in one of the Snap tournaments at some point. They keep doing those into the fall. But no, over the summer, I'm not going to be playing in any tournaments of any sort. Shano, thank you for the 17 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, even the rare candy decks are to a lesser extent than the Ultra Beast, but rare candy also makes deck building less interesting, right? It means if I'm playing a stage 2, suddenly I have 11 spots in my deck taken up, right? I have five for a stage 2, 2 for a rare candy, 2 for Pokeball, 2 for Professor's Research. Yeah, that seems fine. We're surviving if they have their candy for a turn. I don't need to cape, right? No. It's unfortunate. I enjoyed watching you play tournaments. You see, it's actually the inverse of that. From a content perspective, ranked content actually performs better. When I was posting tournament content for Pokemon Pocket, the comments were regularly littered full of complaints of people who were telling me the content wasn't relevant or the games were easier because they were open deck lists instead of closed deck lists like the ladder or random matches are. Most people watching content want to be watching something that emulates an experience they can have at home. And the open deck list is just a very different experience than most people will ever have, because most people aren't ever going to play a tournament. I agree for what it's worth. I think open deck list is a lot more skill testing than closed deck list, but it's definitely the case that it's an experience that most people can't relate to, and they can't apply it directly to their experience while playing games wherever they are. Stoutland does cloud attacks that discard energy. Yeah, the big dog is kind of Infernape's worst nightmare here, huh? They're about to have a real bad time. I just can't even scratch me. Definitely want to build up a second Stoutland here. Just in case there's all water energy in my future. Yup. I think with that brick, I'm actually getting rid of the Chomp, because it's so important that I find my second Stoutland plus Candy next turn. This recovery doesn't really matter. We're getting cleared by Firefang here regardless. There's 5 cards in my deck. 1 Candy, 1 Herdier, 1 Professor's Research. They only have 1 knockout point here. Alright, so 50% to get to the big dog here. You can find the candy, or we could find the research into the candy. Nice. Okay. Now, unfortunately here, if they have second Lily, If they have second Lily, we're 10 short of clearing the Incineroar. Now, I do have Giant Cape, which means we're not dead yet, but we are dead to both Guzma and, we're dead to both Guzma and Sabrina here after their 2 Lilies. I don't think there's anything else useful in my deck. If we had caped Stoutland, we wouldn't be dead to Sabrina, only Guzma. It's a good call. Okay, do you have the important one or no? No, cool. Well, Snap's economy changes, did the frequency of getting new cards change, or do you just have more agency in the cards that you get? So, they removed the variance in the cards that you get, right? So under Snap's old economy, sometimes it could take you 1 key to get a card, sometimes it could take you 4. And now that you just get tokens, you're guaranteed to get a specific number of new cards. And on average, you get more total new cards than you did under the previous system, except if you were high rolling really high. But there's an asterisk there that they're releasing more cards than they were previously. So you get a similar percentage than you did before, but there's more options, and there's no FOMO or variance, the ones that you get, unless you want there to be. What are your thoughts on the Celesteela Ultra Beast introduction? I feel like the game hit a new rule set, and when I'm playing against it, it feels like they have game-breaking tech. So actually, it's so interesting to me. So many people seem to be down on the Ultra Beast mechanic, and I think that's just, it feels, the people who are down on the Ultra Beast mechanic really feels to me like people just hate playing against whatever is popular, which is a very common mindset inside of card games. But I personally think the Ultra Beast Buzzwole type decks offer far more compelling and interesting gameplay than a lot of the Rare Candy stuff does from previous seasons. It's just, and this is, the downside to it in my mind is, I'm still playing a lot of Rare Candy stuff because it's like one of the only ways you can brew in this metagame, because we're trying to do things that are coloring outside the lines, whereas like the Ultra Beast decks are very railroaded how you have to build them. I think we'll eventually get a supporter to disable abilities. We'll get a Pokemon ability that disables other abilities at some point. That's a when, not an if. Lots of those types of designs exist in paper. Ooh, we have first energy advantage. That hasn't happened very frequently this morning. Bonus looking to guzzle. The Guzzlord deck featuring Celesteela and Nihilego not playing Naganadel was the most popular this past weekend. But obviously people play a variety of things. There's a candy. There's a water energy. So that means if we could find a big dragon, we can crack for 100 next turn. Would be lovely. And then 20 plus the 100 technically clears the Celesteela. Oh, do we die to Naganadel, though? Wasn't thinking about that. We do die to Naganadel. Well, they don't have it. Sometimes lucky, I suppose. Naganadel hits for 60 with Nihilego in the back. Yeah, I don't know that we deserve this one yet, but we're gonna end up in an okay spot here despite a little bit of slops. I think I am shearing through the backup pup to try and get these to stage 2s is the plan. We have 1 energy in the bin. They're playing Rocket Grunts in addition to Guzzlord. Holy. Well, we sheared the other pup, so we're definitely shearing the second Stoutland here. We have 1 candy and a Gabite left in the deck. We'll go ahead and roll Lily here. Just keep this nice and healthy. I hear some folks discussing they like the Naganadel version. Just for what it's worth, I preferred the Naganadel version anecdotally myself, but by the numbers from our weekend tournaments, the Naganadel builds are not performing well. This build, or the build without Naganadel, wasn't like a breakout by any means, but it had better stats. Was a poison 10 per tick? Poison is 10 per tick, unless you have Nihilego in play, which makes poison deal 10 more. I think I just Cynthia and cracked them for 150 here. Yeah, they're done. Tim, thank you for the 2 years of support. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Is this better than Garchomp Silvally? It's different than Garchomp Silvally. Different off-meta decks like this really don't have enough data points to have anything other than anecdotes, for better or worse. So I try not to make statements that are too strong unless I've played a lot of games with them, and I've not played a lot of games with anything. Oh, Zubat Enjoyer. Some Dark Arceus. on the horizon. Definitely researching, and there's a question of, am I herdiaring or am I jumping straight up to Stout? I think I'm going to the stage 1 with the second Lillipup draw. There's no point in caping this, because if they have Candy, Arceus, Crobat, I'm gonna take 80 regardless, so that cape doesn't prevent anything. We just bite for 30 here. Lightning Energy as their next one is a spicy head scratcher. Could be playing Oricorio, sure. Do you think a preset repeating every other energy pattern would fix dual color energy issues or no? So your question there is framed in a way that I don't enjoy. Because, like, yes, the answer to your question is, if dual color energies alternated, dual color decks would be more consistent, and that would be better for them. However, making dual color energies simply alternate is not free and comes with other repercussions, right? Like, there's the dual color cards in Pokemon Pocket, for a number of them, are clearly powerful to a point where they are balanced around the idea that they're going to be inconsistent. So the appropriate question to be asking isn't does making dual color energies alternate fix their problems? It's, does making dual color energies alternate break any of the card releases currently in the game? Does it make them too powerful? And honestly, I think Baby Garchomp is a really strong card, and there's a real chance that, like, it could potentially be too strong if you were guaranteed to have your 2 color energies on the first 2 turns of the game every game. And maybe it's not, but there's a real chance that it could be. It's a very, very powerful effect. 100 for 2 on a basic, on a non-EX is a really solid hit, and its Reckless Shearing ability is a ton of consistency. I also think there's like a 0% chance they ever structurally change how energies function in this game, so it's mostly a pointless endeavor to talk about. I expect it's a when, not an if, that we'll get some type of Poke Tool or Pokemon ability or something that makes 2 colors more consistent, but I don't think they're ever going to change functionally how the energy zone works. Alright, we got Baby Dog, we got Big Dog. I just need a piece of candy. We have first energy advantage. That was my weekend. My weekend was swell. Spent it out at the camper. Had really reasonable weather. It was originally forecasted to rain all day on Saturday, and then it ended up only raining like later Saturday night, so it worked out perfect for the kids to be able to play. I think we're gonna end up being too slow at this point is the problem. I don't think Ultra Necrozma is in any danger of ever being game-breaking. I think it's in fact absolutely wild to me that they gave that thing one of the most difficult attacks to use in the game, and it only does 120 damage for some god-awful reason. Now, if they don't have a Lucamine, they can only hit us for 30 next turn, and then Lily will buy us some appropriate time. Dragonite. Dragonite's a better example of something that could be powerful if they alternated, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna need both a fighting energy and a candy here. Right? I guess I Lily to force them to have another Celesteela or Kartana here. And obviously they can have one of those two things, but they don't have either. It buys us a turn. Hey, thanks for the Hawaii 5-0 Koi Cricket and that absurdly generous tier 3. Alright, opponent has their cake and gets to eat it too. Has an Erica as well, yep. Alright, 2 candies, 2 research, 9 cards. We have the chomp, we have the fighting energy. Apoc, thank you for the 17 months. I was truly flabbergasted when people were saying, get ready for the Ultra Necrozma meta when it was first shown. Yeah, those people were either really bad at card evaluation or trying to sell you something. To be fair, we did get one of our most playable promo cards ever out of that pack. It's just not that crappy EX Pokemon. It's the Duskmane Necrozma is very, very reasonable. 100 for 3 on the back of Lucamine on a single pointer is really solid. All right, well, we won more points than we lost with this one, but I think I'm ready to move on to something that's not flipping rare candy coins here this morning. What do we want to play? Do I want to play that, speaking of? Yeah, maybe I do want to play that. Let's play some of the promo, speaking of. This one caught my eye in one of the community tournaments this weekend. It's got some solid ideas going on. Let me take a brief pause for the cause, let some adverts roll up over to the restroom while that happens. Appreciate everybody hanging out. We're going to play some the Duskmane Necrozma when we get back. If you're watching on YouTube, consider tapping the like button. It doesn't cost you anything and helps the content reach some more people. Appreciate the almost 200 folks that have done that already this morning. Gosh, it's so strange, chat. My wife took PTO for the week to volunteer at a day camp the boys are attending, and then Haley's at school. I can't remember the last time I had a bunch of days in a row where I was literally the only one in my house while I'm working here. Usually there's especially with the boys being on summer break for the last 2 weeks now, there's plenty of people around typically. Epoch, thanks for the 17. Good morning, good morning. I'm curious to see how Stakataka feels. Feels like a card that could go either way. Hundred and 10, 2 energy attack, works with Lucamine, has a little bit of sustain. Top tier Harley, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. Gengar Enjoyer. Staka's probably pretty good against Baby Gengar, yeah? Taking 20 less when they're only dealing 50 sounds pretty appealing. Of course, neither of those are the droid I'm looking for. I wonder if I was supposed to research before I Pokeball there, since I'm primarily looking for basics. Staka! We'll put that on there at least. They start taking some chip damage. Tapu Lele. Yeah, I suppose that gets them around the poison barb, huh? I mean, I think I'm still just on the Duskmane plan, right? They hit me for 40 and then I Black Metal clear them. Gengar locking us out of Lucamine is going to put a real damper on our game plan, though. Got me? I mean, I guess I'm a little sad I didn't play the Poison Barb out. I suppose not having Poison Barb on here is gonna make me a little bit sad. Do they draw Candy Gengar? What a weird... What weird energy placement. So, Tina comes up, clears me, Lusamine cracks for 100, and then Staka is ready to deal 40 in the back. Really wish I would have put the Poison Barb on this one. Would have given us a lot more incidental damage on the back and forth. It was a sequencing mistake on my part. I almost slid it out, and then I didn't. Some energy on here. I'm gonna play out Staka just to play around red card and Mars here. And then they'll be dead to second Lusamine here. I need one more piece of sustain to not be dead to second Lusamine. And got it. Cool. And that's, you know, Stakataka's not a super impressive Pokemon on raw stat line, but you just have to look at all of these Ultra Beast Pokemon through the lens of, well, what if I can put 2 energy on them out of nowhere? The context they have with Lusamine is so powerful. Is there a rhyme or reason when Lusamine gives 1 energy versus 2? Lusamine reattaches energy from your discard pile. So if there's 2 in there, she'll attach 2, but if there's only 1, she'll only attach 1. Yes, Celesteela gives you context with the Ultra Beast too, of having free retreat cost also has a lot of value. Agree. Kitty Bus, thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate you re-upping that Prime. Welcome back. Them having first energy advantage is sad. I think we're mostly looking for basic Pokemon, so I'm gonna research before I Pokeball here. I'm not playing this other stock out because I would like this to be the Duskmane, ideally. You get a poison, and you get a poison. Everybody gets a poison. think I thruster here, yeah? And put this up. Yeah, that means I put the barb on the wrong thing. It's perhaps the case. Yeah, I think I put the barb on the wrong thing. Using the poison barb is taking some getting used to in this deck, especially with thrusters as a consideration too. Think of any good pairings with Machamp BX. Nope, Machamp BX is just one of the many bulk cards in Pokemon Pocket. Card games, more traditional card games like Pokemon Pocket have a lot of their cards are just bad, unfortunately. Having bricks means that the cards that are hits are more exciting. Okie doke. You're gonna Cyrus and clear the Nihilego? Get their poison down to less damage per turn. If I clear this, I go to 60, and then they hit me for 30, down to 30, and then I'm still not dead, so that's nice. I'm gonna grab this. Yeah, Pocket doesn't really communicate anything in advance. The only reason we had an inkling that Ultra Beasts were coming in this expansion is because there was some reference to them in the game files, but that's definitely been the exception, not the rule. We usually find out when it gets here. Alright, so they have another Nihilego, but that they can't clear my Staka even with Grindcore this turn, because we took 10 less last turn. For what it's worth, I actually think that there not being constant leaks is really good. I actually really dislike how frequently and how far in advance data mine stuff happens in games like Marvel Snap. But at the same time, I wish Pokemon Pocket, while not having leaks, had a little bit more of a structured spoiler season like other traditional card games tend to do. I think it would be sweet if they if they would like do their release video like a week out like they do, and then over the course of that next week like reveal a card or two every day would be nice. I guess putting the Nihilego up, letting them clear my poison bonus damage is a little sad. Is there leak frog? There's not, Zerdeg. We're just talking about how they, generally speaking, don't have leaks. They're actually dead on board if they let themselves get poisoned here. Oh, I guess technically not quite dead on board. They're dead to the Giovanni, though. So maybe they take the hit, leaving themselves dead to Giovanni. Because if they hit us, they'll get poisoned down to 120, and then this would do 100 plus 10 more, and then the poison would get them for 10 more on the backswing. Keeps unfortunate. I already burned my one copy of Cyrus, yeah. Like, Kate probably means we're dead. My choice to give them Nihilego instead of Celesteela also costing us here. That was a mistake. Even the way the spoiler videos happen for Pocket is kind of frustrating and annoying. Like, I get that they want to do, like, their fancy release video, but, like, they also put up a press page for the game. So, like, if you're gonna put a press page up for the game, you absolutely should put full resolution versions of all of the cards that, like, you could pause the video and half see in the teaser video. It's so annoying and janky to, like, have a review of the release video and, like, half or 2/3 of the review is just, like, the card image slanted or zoomed at, like, a trash resolution because we paused a YouTube video and screenshotted it at the highest DPI it had available. Metal Smooth, thanks for re-upping for the 5th month. Welcome back. We're going second. I don't think I want second Celesteela on the bench. I want room for my other beasts. Grass, Lillipup, Silvally. What is our grass Pokemon? Buzzwole, maybe? They could be all colorless. If you're all colorless though, it's technically optimal to have like grass is the default. Okay, that's good to know. For reference, if you're playing an all colorless deck, it's technically optimal to play like water energy to like bluff Irina being in your output range. But that's pretty marginal and likely doesn't matter a lot of the time. Hey, Samalander, thanks for upping that Prime. Appreciate you coming back for almost 3 years. I got about a Tempo Sabrina here. So this is gonna need 4 energy to attack. This is gonna need 3. I don't know what I want this last bench slot. There's a chance this last bench slot needs to be in the Heligo. I'm just gonna chill for now. I don't think they could retreat this type null out this turn, so. Slide this in, thrust this out. Stakataka all about. None of these other ones really change anything. No, I don't think there's any merit to Cyrusing the Stoutland here. They're at a nice and convenient 50 here. Which means that this this Giovanni cleans them up nice. I think I'm playing this out. Is there any reason to cape this? Cape takes me to 50. And then I still die to Sharp Fang, so I think the answer is no. There's Sil Valley here. Lucamine's a nice pickup here. Means that I get to do this into this. Now I can thrust this out. And we'll crack for 40 here. And then this 40 hitter means that Duskmane Necrozma can come up and clean this out. Get this burned out of my hand in case there's, what's it called in my future? Our lack of a second poison keep here is disappointing. They've not played any sustain yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a Lily in our future. might be a little bit late. We'll see. Okay, if they don't have a way to sustain the back, the Cyrus is lethal. Excuse me? Well that play means they're dead on board. I don't even need the Cyrus to beat them. So they didn't have a heal. They were dead here even without a mistake. But the poison arrow plus the Nihilego, and them leaving me the Duskmane here means they're cooked. Good night. Bad dog or good dog, depending on how you look at it. Take those freebies. Alright, well, this one's been very reasonable. I like Duskmane Necrozma a lot. It's a very reasonable Pokemon pocket card. I'll throw the deck list up on the screen during the ad break. Appreciate everybody here who's here bright and early for some pocket. I think the plan this week is we're going to do a couple hours of pocket to start the stream each day and then be snapping after. Don't go anywhere, gamers. If you're watching on YouTube, tap the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps the content reach some more people. Appreciate the folks that did that already today. Morning Rand. If you checked out Claire Obscura, I will definitely play Claire Obscura at some point. It is, what? I think my unplayed games list is currently a dozen or so deep, though, so maybe next decade. I try to make a point not to buy. I try to make a point not to buy games I don't actually have time to start playing. My 1 and then 2 are currently finish God of War Ragnarok and then finally play Spider-Man 2. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret, chat. All new game releases are never a huge rush to play regardless of how good they are for 2 reasons. First is that single player games get cheaper over time. You're gonna get them on sale at some point, so I'm gonna pay less money for it. And 2, they get more bug fixes, so you pay less money and get a better gameplay experience waiting to play it. So literally at no point in my life will I ever make it a priority to play a single player game ASAP. There's just no reason to. I don't play games outside of my stream on my PC. Like 99.9% of my off-stream gaming time is done on my PlayStation or my cell phone. Looking for some basics. playing out a poison barb. I'm gonna put energy on the Stakataka and hope to top deck a Celesteela, I think, here. Berserker, thank you for the over 2 years. Welcome back. Punished for not putting a poison barb, but at the same time, this does let me get attacking with it, which is nice. So 6 and 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. I think this is a fine exchange for us. It's really funny to me how much of the hype around the Switch 2 is literally just people playing Switch 1 games, but just like they have reasonable load times and aren't running on a potato. Which I get. Like, the Switch 1 is a potato and the load times are heinous, but it's just funny to me that, like, we just, like, the selling point is we finally released a console that has reasonable performance. No damages on the Staka, which is nice. Play the other Duskmane out. I think I'm gonna put the energy on here. We'll clear this. Like I have a reason to play a cape out just yet. I'm supposed to put the cape on this one, so that way it threatens to live through a big beat. Rewarded for waiting on the Guzzlord here. And get to knock off 2 capes for the price of 1. Put this one up, put a cape on it. Cyrus could also threaten to just end this game on the spot, which would be nice. Yeah, opponent electing to play regular cape is interesting. Maybe they just haven't opened grass ones yet. The upside is the regular cape works on Celesteela, so it's not strictly worse, but most of these builds do play grass cape. Still looking pretty cooked to a Cyrus gamer. Standard cape on Celesteela allows it to tank a 120 damage hit from an opposing Buzzwole. That makes sense. It takes Solgaleo hit as well. Yeah, that's fair takes. I have not played a ton of Buzzwole. I'm not really a person who spends time min-maxing or optimizing known best decks, so... Seems like very reasonable considerations for folks who have. Looking for a Celesteela here. Mr. City, thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Celesteela would have been ideal because it would have allowed us to push her to the front of the class, so that way Staka doesn't go down in quick blow plus a Sylvally hit. Not putting an energy up here, because if they have their supporter plus stage 1, they're cleaning it out, and I don't want to burn my Lusamine on my first attacker, I don't think. Oh, they're bricked. Okay, we take those. Celesteela off the top. Celesteela off the top. This out proactively. Okay. I saw a thing that says Pokemon Champions is supposed to be like January 26. Although there's nothing officially confirmed yet. That's speculation. That is definitely something I'll be checking out when it releases. I think there's probably a lot of overlap between people who enjoy card gamers and turn-based Pokemon combat. We probably won't hear about Champions again until Worlds. Yeah, I think that's probably a safe bet. Why not Lusamine Necrozma? Because that's not how Lusamine works, video gamer. So we'll retreat this. We'll Guzma, knock off the cape. Oh, actually, I'm probably supposed to Sabrina clear the Rampardos, right? Does it matter? It probably doesn't matter, but... even if they go Candy Rampardos Cape, Lusamine plus Necrozma finishes them here. Oh no, my Lusamines! Cooked. They got me, gamers. Yeah, I should have Sabrina to play around this. Rampardos is scarier than Sylvally. I should have played clearing the Rampardos. We also knew they didn't have Sil Valley and they were bricked for a while. So if I Sabrina and clear the fossil, I think they're pretty unlikely to win that. I will say, these all single knockout point decks tend to be far more interesting than the ones featuring EXs and rare candies. There's a lot more reflective, can look back and find other lines type things. We're looking for basic Pokemon, so we want to research before we Pokeball. Give us the best possible chance to find the specific basics we're looking for. So like here, for example, we drew Celesteela, which means this one was more likely to draw a Stakataka. Not that we found it. Have a Barb. Thanks. Our hand was pretty mediocre there. Just redraw at Staka here. Nice. Just be Nihilego now for taking requests. Easiest game of Pokemon Pocket I ever played in my life, gamers. So, if they don't heal here, they die to Staka plus the poison on this back and forth, yeah? Because they're going to take 20 down to 60, and then we deal 40, and then they take 20 again, which clears them. Nihilego plus Barb has been so gross. With the old brass rocks. And now, in 3 cards, they need Candy, Rampardos, and a second copy of Mars to stop my Lusamine from cleaning out the Rampardos. Alright, so we're done here then, yeah? Good for another Poison Barb, honestly. That's nice. Means we live a Giovanni. They're looking pretty cooked here, huh? And then if they don't have their second Skull Fossil, they're dead to Lusamine on board. Cool. Because they have a point. There's no energy in my bin right now. However, we can put this on and retreat and then Lusamine them up because they took a point earlier. Crunch. Has anyone revisited Alolan Muck paired with Nihilego? Alolan Muck's just not a very good pocket card. Its rates are pretty mediocre. Yeah, the Lucamine plus the retreats are lines I frequently miss that I'm trying to be more cognizant of when we play these decks. We have first energy advantage, which is nice. If you haven't gotten them yet, chat, you should absolutely make sure you get 2 Duskmane Necrozma from this promo pack. There's a solid chance you regret not having them later. Last week, I published a highlight with the title, Finally a Good Promo Card, featuring this one, and it's continued to be really good in a variety of other things. The Psychic promo might also be reasonable. There's a chance. Opponent filled their board without putting a Buzzwole out. That's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him here. My goodness, this deck is so happy to be Mars so frequently. Our opponents keep doing it to us. I'm like, yes, please continue. The current auto battle event, I think, is arguably the easiest PvE event they've ever done, in large part due to the fact that the key EX Pokemon that it's featuring is stone cold unplayable, and they make the AI play it. Like, it's not like the previous ones were like Misty with Lapras could cheese you sometimes still, so you had like a failure rate. Like, I think this is the first PvE event where the main card is just so atrocious that I actually have a 100% win rate with the deck I'm auto battling it with. Is Lapras EX the rarest promo card? Are you suggesting that because it was the first one? If anything, I would bet Lapras is one of the more common EX promo cards because there were very likely more total people playing Pokemon Pocket at release than there were in subsequent months after. These types of games tend to have their peak player count on or around release, and then tend to taper off after that. Kokobe, thank you for the 64 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. It was not the Stakataka I wanted for Christmas. Hey, thanks for the over 5 years, Kokobe. Good morning, good morning. So they could technically like Lucamine onto this back Celesteela and then flip a coin to clear my Duskbane. And then the rest of my hand is awkward enough that we could lose from there reasonably. Got a Staka Insight. All right, let's see how the Moombatan treats our opponent and us here. Sometimes lucky, rubberous, ducky. There's a Stakataka. I suppose we don't have a Lucamine yet, though. That's fine. Their Moonbaton would never hurt me, chat. I would just be rude. Two Lucamine and 8 cards, so 1 and 4, or they could just continue bricking. They could just continue bricking. Okay, and obviously they could have Lucamine of their own here. But if they don't, we're in a pretty all-right spot. We notably cannot Lucamine and Cyrus in the same go. There's a Leaf Cape. Big beat coming down. And then this is only their first point here, so we are in nowhere near in danger of losing this just yet. So we'll get Lucamine 2 energy onto Stakataka and tap the Buzz this turn, while also building up this in the back. I think we're out of basics. Oh, we have second Staka. Yeah. So do this here. Play this here. And then next turn, Cyrus finishes him up. All right. Average red card experience, really. These are a few of my favorite things. All right, opponent, we're done here. Click your buttons. Oh, did they not realize they can't big beat? I think this pause is them realizing they can't big beat. Oh, wow. Are they going to discard 2 energy off this other Buzzwole to big beat my Celesteela? Sure are. I'm just lucky that this red card and this Mars weren't like capes and potions and Pokemon Center ladies, because then we wouldn't have been able to win the game. As is, we'll clean them out. Down to the buzzer. Two pretty solid sets of Pokemon Pocket. But we finished, I think we were like 20 or 30 points outside of Ultra 3 to start, because we lost a lot with a lot of decks last week. And well, we finished like 30 points up today. I don't actually remember how many you come in with. But we climbed all of this plus some of Ultra 2 with this pile plus Stoutland Garchomp. I think the plan for the schedule this week is we're going to play a couple hours of Pocket to start, and then we're going to kick on over to Snap. Snap metrics have been really good lately because their metagame's in a really sweet spot. If you're looking for a bunch of sweet deck lists, keep an eye on the Hoglandia Pocket YouTube channel. We're going to have these decks we played today, plus others that we'll be playing later this week, highlighted tomorrow morning in the old new decks roundup. If you want to keep watching on the YouTube side, you'll need to kick on over to the Jeff Hoagland YouTube channel, as the Pocket channel will be clicking off. I have not played any of the Marvel Rivals Auto Battler. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to have time for it. We'll see. Non-mobile games are just so tough to make time for. And they also typically mean that, like, they resonate less with the audience, because my audience is primarily mobile gamers. When I had talked about doing that initially, I wasn't fully prepared for Marvel Snap to make a bunch of really good decisions. Marvel Snap is really just like the best it's been in a really long time.